Good early Saturday morning. You know what it is. It's your boy Pitts and Coach Bernard Clark Jr., aka Tiger. It's going down. It's game day preparation with Robert Morris University against Merrimack. And who else better to give us that game day preparation than our very own and special guy, Tiger, aka. What up, Coach? How you doing, man?
Hey, I'm doing well, man. Everything's going good. Anxious, ready to go, ready to get this thing rolling in the right direction. But, that stomach is bubbling. Can't really eat right now. My mind's on the game. It's running all over the place. That anxiety gets crazy on game day.
Them game day jitters.
Yeah, man. Yeah, still get them. I mean, even though I can't hit anybody right now, it's one of those things. Well, I shouldn't hit anybody, should I say?
Well, I mean, hey, let's be released.
Sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
You're right. So we'll pick up from where we left off on Wednesday. Our word of the week, which is our AKA our wow, was sow. We reap what we sow. We get what we put into it.
Absolutely.
How has the team responded to our word of the week, and what have you seen from them in the sowing through the variation of the remaining practices?
You know what, Pitch, man? It probably showed up on Thursday more than it has all week long. On Thursday, we decided to practice in shells, which is just helmets and jerseys. And those guys practiced. The tempo they practiced at mentally was there. They understood exactly what they're supposed to do. They were making their checks. They was doing the things that we asked them to do throughout the week. So they did a good job of sowing. I'm hoping we reap what we're sowing, because our guys did a great job on Thursday of a mental preparation and a mental practice, and getting through a practice of about an hour and a half, hour and 20 minutes long, right before we prepared to go on the trip. But it was great, man. It was outstanding. I thought those guys practiced hard this week.
How's Zach Tanner feeling this morning amid last week's injuries?
It's still going to be
2 weeks ago. I'm sorry, 2 weeks ago, before the Baz injury.
It's still going to be a game time decision. He's still. I talked to him this morning. He said, "Coach, the swelling is going way down. I'll let you know when we get there." So it's still like a game time decision. So it's still like we're kind of in limbo on what we're going to do. But we got an idea of who's probably going to be the guy if Zach can't go. So.
And that's what I was going to ask you in regards to the response from 2 weeks ago, and the preparedness and the readiness of the backup quarterbacks. How has that gone in their prepared readiness for an event Zach can't go this week?
Well, we prepared all three of them. That's the thing about it, Pitts. We prepared Jake Wolf, prepared Amir Dudley, and we prepared Cooper Pantic. So it's one of those situations where all three of those guys are ready to go. So if Zach decides to go down, then Coach Rothenbuehler and myself, the offensive coordinator, will get in together and say, okay, Zach can't go. This is who we're going with. So right now we're still kind of hoping Zach can make this thing happen. But if he can't, we got an idea of who we want to go with. And right now we're leaning towards the freshman Cooper. So we'll see how that goes.
What's today's game plan for you offensively?
Again, it depends on who's at the helm of leading these guys. So who's ever at the helm, it's going to be a different situation. So what Coach Rothenbuehler does a great job of is each day he asks those guys, send me 5 plays that you like as a run play and 5 plays you like as a pass play. He want to make sure he puts as much emphasis on those plays of each guy that may be playing. So Cooper has the plays he likes, Jake has the plays he likes, Amir has the plays he likes, and obviously Zach has the plays he likes. So it's a situation where we've done that. So I can't say it's going to be this or that. We just know that those guys like certain plays, and those are plays we're going to try to run with when it comes to offense, and making sure who's at the helm is getting the right situation that's what's best for him. Because it always goes back to, it doesn't matter how much you know as a coach. It only matters what they do well and what they do fast. And so that's what we're trying to do.
How have you seen the offensive line grow and develop in their continuity as the season has progressed, being as that, this was a very new group, in addition to other positions and coaches, but specifically when you talk the trenches and the O-line, how have you seen the development come to play?
Well, the great thing about it, we've seen a great development. At one time we had Riley, who was our left tackle. We moved Riley into guard. We put Jan there. So we found the 5 guys that we feel real good about, and the other 3 to 4 substitute guys that can give them a break every now and then. So that's the positive thing about what's going on. We found the 5 guys that we feel strongly about. They work well together. They're finally getting to know each other. So when they're in the game and they're focused on what they need to be focused on, they're working together. So they're recognizing the formation and understanding, I got to take this, depending on what we're going to run. So they're working well together. That's the thing that's extremely important. You know that when it comes to O-line, they have to have a continuity of who's in there at all times. So we got a five that we feel real good about. Some substitutions we also feel good about.
What are some of the key matchups that you're looking forward to watching today on the defensive side of the ball?
To be totally honest with you, it's probably our linebackers versus the quarterback. You and I both know over the years, running quarterbacks have hurt us a little bit. So they have two outstanding running quarterbacks. They do a good job of leading their offense. So I want to see how these linebackers stack up against these guys when they have to make those open field one-on-one tackles and make sure we're getting these guys on the ground and doing what we're supposed to do, along with our safety. So that's the matchup I'm looking for defensively, is making sure we stop the run when it comes to these quarterbacks. Now, I'm not saying their running backs aren't good. Their running backs are good players. But what I am saying is those quarterbacks lead that team. They do a good job. If they run the ball well, then they open you up pass-wise, because now you're worried about them running, and now you get hurt on the pass. So we got to make sure we're doing a great job versus these quarterbacks.
Absolutely. Shout out to my cousin Solomon back home in Duquesne, PA. Them 412 stand up. Appreciate cousin support through it all. He's always been supportive of me. Resharing everything that we do, Coach. Every time we do an interview, he reshares it. So I'm definitely grateful, for his support, helping to spread the word, specifically, since everything is happening in the 412.
Yeah, no doubt. Crazy question for you. Crazy question for you, Pitch. I mean, obviously it's game day for you also, man. How's little guy doing, man? How's he playing?
It's crazy, Coach. I really, this was the first time that I had to restrain myself with patience, specifically when it comes to football, because I know the aggression, I know the mentality, I know the physical nature of it all, but he has responded incredibly well. He has soaked in everything that I've said to him. He looks the part. I tell him all the time he might look better out there than I did. Like he just looked like he belonged, and he's having fun despite them having a losing record. He's having fun with it. He's anxious about the off season. As soon as the season's over, I'm matching him up with some athletic trainers to really get him going, because with this being his first year and the next year being high school, I want to make sure that he's fundamentally ready and mentally prepared for what that hall looks like going into his freshman year of high school. So, I'm extremely proud of him, man. Not to mention, my only ask of him throughout this entire process was that he maintained his grades, which he's always maintained a 3.0 or higher. But the difference in this year was that I'm not going to ask him anything school related when it comes to homework, when it comes to his assignments, when it comes to tests, because even though I know he's going into high school, just getting him mentally prepared that when you go to college, mom and dad isn't there, right? It's not to say I can't help him along the way now, but when he gets to high school, it's all on him. So I just wanted to see how he would respond in being able to handle, his first responsibility as being a student first and now being an athlete, and seeing how he would be able to measure it. And he's responded well, man. He has a 3.8 GPA still.
Wow. Okay.
And he hasn't lost his humbleness. He hasn't lost his growth and maturity. He hasn't lost who he is as a person. So, I'm overly excited about that. Today they have a game against the number 2 team in their division. Next week, the number 1 team. But more importantly, they moved him now to an offensive skill position. I've never wanted to say anything. I knew he was always out of position when they had him in the offensive line, but I felt like it did him some good, right? Because with this being his first year, he get to have bump every single play, that physical nature of contact, So I think it did him some good, and I think the coaches realized, like, hey, I think we got you out of position, So now today is his first day where he actually gets to be a ball carrier instead of a ball blocker.
Yeah, I think the thing is too, what really helped him is exactly what you did. You waited until he played. Like you and I, we started playing football. We were 8 years old. So it's crazy. Now your body's beat up, and after a while you get tired of it. So he's got to the point now where he enjoys the process, because he's never had the process before. So he's enjoying the whole aspect of learning the game and going with the game and realizing, okay, I may not be an offensive lineman. Heck, I may be a running back. I could be a tight end. So I think those are the things that excite him, because he hadn't been doing it since he was 8 years old. He waited to play the game, and he's still excited about the game.
And sometimes, coach, I feel like I don't want to say I feel like I did him a disservice by not putting him in earlier, right? Because you see the advancement because he's new to it. But at the same time, key to something you said, I've watched a lot of kids, specifically in this DMV area, whom has been playing since 7 or 8 years old, and by the time they get to high school, they're burnt out. They don't even
Yes.
want to do it no more. So I definitely understand now personally the sides of both sides of the coin when it comes to starting too early, starting too late.
And the toughest thing about it, especially the generation now, is everything's microwave. They look at Twitter, they look at Facebook, they look at Snapchat. Everything's 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 2 minutes. So
Yeah,
they don't see instant gratification. They don't see instant results. A lot of times they
yeah,
don't stick to it. So when you're young and you're 8 years old, after a while, okay, I'm 15. I've been playing football for 7 years. I don't want to do this anymore. Where he's 14 and now he's been playing football 6 months. So
yeah.
he's grown to love the game, and so that's attributing to you though. I mean, you're doing the thing that need to do to make sure your son enjoys the game of football and not just out there playing the game of football because you want him to.
Absolutely. And coach, before I get to my next question, this other individual, Billy Blocks, he's also from Pittsburgh. When I tell you that he is a fan of yours,
Okay,
I don't water that down. Like when I tell you every show that we've had over the last couple of years, he has tapped in, he has watched every single show. When I go home to Pittsburgh or when we get off, he messaged, he also shares everything. I told him one day, I said, yo, you know what? I gotta either get you on the show with Coach as a fan, or I gotta get you when I come home this year for a game, I gotta get you, out there with me.
let's make it
But
happen. Absolutely,
but
man. Let's make
but
it happen.
definitely shout out to Billy, man, for all that he's doing, and also with the Pee Wee football work that he's doing as well in the city of Pittsburgh. I believe he's helping out a football team. It's basically a teen a young adult group whom been in trouble, right, and giving them a
Hmm.
second chance at development of their discipline skills and their cognitive skills, and everything else like that. I believe they're called the West End Ducks.
Okay.
And, this is a group of served young youth who got in trouble, and they're trying to give them a way, back into, reinvigorating them and their excitement about life through sports, as a lot of us had to do. My discipline came from sports.
Yeah.
It kept me out of the streets. It kept me away from trouble. So big
And
ups to them and the Western Ducks and Chris Sims and all them doing the work out there. Shantae, Little John, all of them. Appreciate y'all for y'all support.
yeah, man, let's make it happen. No doubt about it, man. The more involved I can get involved in the community, I'd love to do it. It's just I don't know who to reach out to or how to reach out and make sure. I got a couple of guys that I'm going to reach out to once the season's over. Obviously, during the season is tougher, but
Yeah,
doing the off season, I'd love to go. I always love talking to young people and make sure their minds are in the right place and make sure they're developing. Again, it always goes back to better men, better husbands, and better fathers. So anything
absolutely.
I can do to make those things creative, would be great.
And not only that, I wanted to see, Coach, also too, maybe we can see if specifically that West End Ducks team that I was referring to, maybe we can see if we can get them for a game.
Absolutely.
Just to be able to come out and see what that environment look like, give them something to look forward to.
Yeah, just let me know. Let me know. We should
Awesome, we'll
make it,
do.
no doubt.
When we talk about the new coaching staff, right? We just talked about the offensive line. How has it gone, now, because that's another group of continuity that you have to develop, within the games and the confinements, understanding each other's likes, weaknesses, strengths, etc.
Yeah.
How has that played out for you guys thus far this year, and what are your thoughts on it?
Well, that's the positive thing also, that their preseason's over also. That's the thing. We go 1-3, and now they got to relearn each other. It goes back to what we talked about on Wednesday, during the bye week, doing self-scout stuff. Now they got to self-scout themselves and see where am I going wrong and why aren't the guys performing the way I want to perform. So our guys have done a great job. And the two coordinators, Troy Rothenbuehler and Jason McCrenos, and also Ty Aschenbacher, the special teams coordinator, they've done a great job of making sure our guys are on the same page. So they all last week they sat and they said, okay, this is what we need to change, this is what we need to do, and they talked it out. They're going to be arguments, they're going to scream at each other, but
Absolutely,
that's
that's
just the way.
football.
Yeah, that's just the way it is. Make sure things are going. So I think they're comfortable with the game plans on both sides of the ball as well as special teams. I think they're ready to get things rolling in the right direction, like I said. And I put my input, but like I've told them, I want to make sure they understand they're going to load the gun. They're going to put their bullets in it because I don't want to put my bullets in it because if it don't work out, I'm gonna take
Yeah.
the bullets out, you know.
Your bullets can't work for that pistol. It won't shoot right.
Exactly. So I want to make sure they understand that. But again, they do. And all of them understand that we have to get it done. This is what we have to do. And we're going in the right direction.
What's up? What's our message today?
Our message today, more than anything else, man, is just make sure we got there and have a good time. Woke up this morning, man. Probably the one thing in my mind is I was telling, there's reality. And then there's what you're trying to do. There's opportunity and there's reality of what's going on. And you got to make choices on the field, man. Sometimes you make good choices, sometimes you make bad choices. I tell people all the time, I love my mom, man. My mom just turned 83 on Wednesday, man. But the
Happy birthday,
reality is,
mama.
absolutely, man. And I love my mom. She's been here a long time. But the reality is, man, I'm not sure how much longer I'm going to have her, but I'm going to take advantage of as long as I have her. And heck, I may go before she goes. You never know.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things. But I want to and that's the reality of it. So I want to make sure I love her as much as I can. So I try to tell those guys on the field, man, the reality is you only get the opportunity one time. We don't know if you're going to the NFL. We don't know if you're going to the pros. We don't know if any of that stuff's going to work out. But the reality is you have an opportunity now. You have an opportunity right now to play this great game that we call football. So take advantage of it. Stop worrying about what could happen, what may happen. Deal with the reality of what's going on right now. Deal with the opportunity you have and give 100% while you're on that field. So stop worrying about what could have been, what should have been, and what may be, and worry about what's going on right now on this field and give 100%. So that's what I'm going to tell the guys today. Make sure they do. And not only that, make sure we go hard in the paint, baby. Going hard in the paint.
We some head busters. Hey, like my ops, the Ravens player, University of Miami alum said, yesterday it's gone. Tomorrow, too far away. Gotta worry about what's happening right now. Shout out to Ray Lewis and all that he did for the sport of football, even though he played for the ops. So, Coach, today, are we still? What's our music for this morning? Are we still?
We're going hard in the paint. That's what I'm playing right after I talk to him.
Hey.
That's exactly what I'm playing. I want them to understand, man. You gotta make sure again. And the great thing about going hard in the paint, man, is you're having fun while you're doing it. Because like you said, it's a party. It's a party, baby. That's exactly what this is. Make sure we understand that.
Y'all heard it here, man. Coach is ready. He said, Grove Street. Hey, y'all already know what it is, man. Robert Morris against Mary Max today. Oh, before I let you guys go, definitely got to give a shout out to my nephew, Elijah McGuire, man, running back for Woodland Hills High School. Had another good night last night. Definitely proud of him. He's definitely also maintaining his 3.0 and higher grades, as well as being a student athlete. Extremely grateful and proud of my nephews, man, for what they're doing. My nephew at West Virginia State University still maintaining his 3.0 and still having fun out there on the football field, man. So big ups to everybody out there that's doing it. All you athletes, keep up the great work, man. If nobody told you guys, be that student first, athlete second. It all merges together. It's like when you're cooking, you got to have the right ingredients, the right preparation, and it all blend together the way it's supposed to. So big ups to you guys. Stay blessed. Keep it going. CJ Gray, keep going. 2-sport athlete, 3-sport athlete, might I say. But listen, it gets better from there, man. Coach, enjoy. Let's get that W today. Let's go 1-0 and go ahead and take us out with the slogan.
Hey, let's make this happen, guys. Like I said, this is the reality of what's going on. Let's take full advantage of this opportunity and let's go, Bobby Mo.
Y'all get it here, man. It's Pitt Sports Zone, Bowie TV, coming to you live through the eye of the Tiger. Enjoy your Saturday.